And hey there, it's me, Mudlink, and welcome back to some more Professor Layton in the Curious Village. So last time, we finished off Chapter 4, where we ended up trying to figure out more of about the mysteries of this place. Ramon ended up being alive. But now, there's more mysteries for us to solve. What the fuck happened with that? Why can't he remember anything? And we're also going to be going back to our golden apple search. I had hoped Ramon would remember something of last night, but it's as I feared. He remembers nothing. How could someone go through something as jarring as a kidnapping and remember nothing of it? And now I must put my curiosity to the side and return to our search for the golden apple. Perhaps Matthew can tell us something. So yeah. We'll go back in here and finally talk to him. Back so soon, Professor. Matthew, I was wondering if you knew anything that could point us in the direction of the golden apple. Anything you would be a great help. For example, did the Baron say anything before he passed away? Sorry to disappoint you, Professor, but the Master never said anything of this sort to me. I'd very much like to help you in your search, but my duties here prevent me from leaving the grounds. If only Ingrid was around to provide some assistance. I beg your pardon, sir. Ingrid? It's been years since she left, but Ingrid used to work as a servant in the mansion, so she was Flora's nurse. She often helped me with my work. Matthew! Yes, madam, I'll be right there. Please excuse me, sir, the lady called. If you're curious about Ingrid, why not pay her a visit and talk to her yourself? Let's see, at this time of day, I'd imagine she's out walking around by the general store. Please do me a favor and tell her that Matthew sends his regards. Certainly. I'll be sure to pass on your message. Thank you for all your help, Matthew. Isn't Ingrid the sweet old lady we passed by before? Indeed, we also saw in that picture of young Flora. Come, Luke, let's go find the old girl. Off we go, then. The general store is just outside the mansion, right? We'll be there in no time. Ugh. Alright. Lily Dolly sure is gorgeous, ain't she? Yep, sure is. What a dish, what a doll, what a honey. Gals like that are pretty rare, I tell you. Yep. Miss Ollie says yep. Oh goodness me, isn't it Mr. Layabout, was it? The name's Layton, madam. That's right, Mr. Layton. What can I do for you, sir? Earlier, we were talking with the butler at Reinhold Manor, and he mentioned you used to work there. We'd very much like to hear anything you might know about the Baron. Heavens me, you want to hear about the Baron? I'm afraid the only stories I have are from when I worked at the manor, and that was ages ago. That would be ideal, madam. Would you mind telling us one? Alright, well, I suppose I could tell you a bit about the Baron and his former wife. The way Master Reinhold and his wife would carry on, they almost seemed to be like children. I've never seen a man so in love as Master Reinhold was. When she passed away, Flora was all the Baron had to remember her by. So he raised that little girl with all the love a child could want. The things he'd bring her home for her, toys from all over the world and teddy bears as big as yourself. He was in high spirits in those days. He really wanted to give her two parents worth of affection. So where has Flora gone? Your guess is as good as mine, sir. I have no clue where that girl went. She left the mansion well after I stopped working for the Reinholds. Some say Lady Dahlia put little Flora on the street to keep the family riches to herself, but that's nonsense. After all, the Baron cared about Flora so much, I can't imagine he'd allow something like that. You just reminded me. The grave of the Baron's late wife is located in the manor garden. I wonder who takes care of it now. The Baron's former wife is buried in the garden. Thank you, madam. You've been extremely helpful. Luke, let's head back to the manor. I have a hunch that the grave might hold the clue we've been looking for. Talking with Matthew revealed that the Reinholds formerly had another servant in their employ. Unless I'm mistaken, Matthew was referring to Ingrid, the nanny we pictured in that old photo we saw earlier. She's usually out by the general store at this time of day, so finding her shouldn't prove too difficult. And then, yeah, Ingrid told us a story of how Flora's mother passed from this world. The Baron must have truly loved his former wife, for her grave lies within his garden, presumably so that, even in death, she could stay close to him. Oh, look, it's Matthew. Good day, Professor. Were you able to track down Ingrid? Yes, we did. In fact, we were just speaking with her. No disrespect, but she said the grave of the Baron's late wife lies on these grounds. Do you have any knowledge of this? Lady Violet's grave, sir? I was just about to visit it myself. Would you mind if we came along to take a look? Not in the slightest. Right this way. Here is the entrance, sirs. Please watch your step on the way in. Can't imagine Layton walking through doors. That fucking giant hat on. This is Lady Violet's grave. Gosh, this place is really nice. Not creepy at all. The late Baron, rest his soul, told me to keep this place in proper order. I have tried to do so. Here sleeps Violet, my one true love. The statue looks so much like Lady Dahlia, it's hard to believe it's someone else. Back when Flora was just a tiny little thing, Lady Violet used to take her to the park in town. Some of the flowers in the garden grew from the ones Flora planted here for her mother. I forgot to tell you about the Baron's journal. It should still be on the desk in Madame's room. It's possible that it might contain some information that could aid your search for the golden apple. My thanks, Matthew. Be sure to give it a once-over later. Now then, look, we'd best head back to Reinhold Manor. Fucking... This must be the journal that Matthew spoke of. I have to admit, he seems to know where everything in the manor is. Something about reading someone else's journal that just doesn't seem proper to me. However, the investigation must continue, so... The craftsmanship of it is simply remarkable. It reminds me of what... Actually, I do a voice for Baron Reinhold when I... The craftsmanship of it is simply remarkable. It reminds me of my sweet Violet when she was alive. What do you suppose it refers to? Flora doesn't like the thing at all. I've seen her run away from it on multiple occasions. Recently, she spends more time playing by dear Violet's grave than anywhere else. I'm sad to say I doubt Flora will ever take to it. I can't blame her, as I've changed its memory. I felt terrible forcing that change on Flora, but I just couldn't bear to see it like that anymore. Violet, there can never be another you. You are my first, my last, and my only. Changed its memory. I'm not sure what the Baron means, but this is clearly vital information here. Collapsed some days ago, and I've been bedridden ever since. I feel as if I have failed Flora as a father. I can only hope that when I'm gone, the people of the village look after Flora and care for her as I did. You must have been terribly ill. Seems I am not long for this world, and the time has come for me to say goodbye to my little Flora. I've left everything in Bruno's care now. Flora, I pray you find happiness in this life. I've disclosed the location of the secret place in a note that I've left with an old friend. It's my most fervent hope that the seeker of the golden apple finds it and grants my dearest wish. Professor! Baron Reinhold's old friend. We must seek out this person, Luke. But Professor, how can we possibly find that person with nothing but this journal to go on? So it's like I always say, Luke. Any good investigation starts on the street. We'll just have to ask everyone in the town about the matter. What? I mean, of course, you're absolutely right, Professor. Let's get to it. Of course, any good investigation also needs direction. Let's start up asking Ingrid a few questions. She seems to know a great deal about Baron Reinhold. They're just going to say the same things. Like, they're not going to really add anything new. Oh, look who it is. Professor Layton, was it? The name's Layton, madam. Oh, that's right, Professor Layton. All that talking about the mansion we did last time got me reminiscing, so I decided to stop by for a visit. But enough about me. By the look on your face, it seems that you have something you want to ask of me. As a matter of fact, I do. Do you happen to know who Baron Reinhold considers his close friends? His friends, you say? Well, he wasn't exactly what you'd call a social butterfly. I'm sorry, that's all I really knew of his friends. Oh, wait a moment. I do believe I saw that Zappone fellow pay a visit to the mansion a few times. Professor, could she be referring to that man we met? Oh yes, that gentleman with the fancy little mustache. We should ask if he knows anything. I would wager if he's still hanging about the fork in the road just beyond the clock tower. Okay, now we're here in the village square. We can come by here again. Yeah, fucking... Just about the fucking click there, genius. Yeah, now there's a lot more entries. Lady Violet's grave is a truly beautiful place. The Baron's devotion and love for her is reflected in every detail of the place. Matthew mentioned the Baron kept a journal detailing his thoughts. If we can find it, I imagine there's much we can learn from its pages. The pages of Baron Reinhold's journal were filled with passages reflecting upon his deep love for his child and late wife. Additionally, we discovered that the Baron left a note disclosing the location of the golden apple in the possession of his good friend. Perhaps Ingrid knows this friend of the Baron's. Sadly, even Ingrid, despite her intimate ties to the Reinhold family, had to admit that she had never even heard talk of the golden apple during her time at the manor. Ingrid recommended we pay Zappone a visit, and so we shall. Really though, does that man ever have anything useful to say? Since you've come to the town hall, let's strongly advise you to follow town procedure and solve this puzzle. Just getting right down to it. Oh my, it looks like someone's been writing nonsense on the blackboard again. Turns out though, that under certain conditions, these strange equations are actually correct. 8 minus 6 equals 2, 8 plus 6 also equals 2. Assuming the above is to be true, what does 7 plus 6 equal? Now this one's a little bit odd, but don't think of it as equations.
Luke, here's my answer.
Well, don't think of it as like math as numbers. Just think of it like a time of day.
Puzzle solved.
You're correct. This puzzle is using time as a framework for the calculations. If you take 6 hours away from 8 a.m., the time becomes 2 a.m. Move forward 6 hours from 8 a.m. and the time becomes 2 p.m. Therefore, if you add 6 hours to 7 a.m., you should arrive at the answer 1 p.m. You can, of course, reverse a.m. and p.m. and you can still find the solution. Thank you. That would do nicely. Now, please vacate the premises. There, I found it. Okay, so now we got just exploring around, just doing puzzles. Oh, this time I've really had it. I thought up this great puzzle, but I couldn't actually do a Jersey accent because he's poorly. Oh, this time I've really had it. I just turned Australian there for a second. What the fuck is wrong with me? Hey, yo! This time I thought I've really had it. I thought of this great puzzle, but I couldn't find anyone to tell it to. Now this one is completely different in the UK as well, so of course, like always, link in the description. Well, it's not entirely different. It's still kind of similar. I don't know why they decided to have different ones. You have at your disposal a large number of tiles like the one shown below. If you were to make these tiles and take these tiles and try to make a square, what is the fewest number of tiles you'd need? So with this, it's a little bit harder math for you guys. Well, kind of. Just to save you the answer, just to save you time for the math, because I'm kind of like out of it from math right now.
There we go. Another puzzle solved.
By the way, the key to this problem is realizing that the tiles have depth to them. Once you understand that you have a third dimension to work with, the rest should fall into place for you. Oh, come on! I was all ready to tell you the answer and everything, but no, you had to go and ruin it by answering before I said it was okay, didn't you? Didn't you? Have you ever considered the strong possibility that you might be a jerk? You might be a jerk off. Who are you looking for this time? Do you want to rest for a minute and solve this puzzle? Now this one is only different in the UK, in the US. So actually, wait, what? I have written down my notes. Someone, whoever got this stuff from got it wrong. So normally it's supposed to be 10 picker rats, but it's 20 here. I don't have the UK version, so maybe they're both worth 20, and the guy I got the information from is a fucking idiot. I don't know. Two corporations have put out help wanted ads. Aside from the information below, the two companies' offers are exactly the same. From a purely financial standpoint, which one should you work for? Company A will pay you $100,000 a year and give you a $20,000 raise yearly. Company B will pay you $50,000 every 6 months and give you a $5,000 raise every 6 months. So yeah, this one's just simple math. So, yeah.
There we go. Critical thinking is the key to success.
Nice one. Now, seeing the image above, if you actually calculate things out, you see that the salary for Company B will always be $5,000 higher than the corresponding salary for Company A. Oh, you did it, okay. I guess I should give you some info as a reward. You know Lady Doll here, right? She's planning to keep the fortune to herself once it's found. Oh, and you've been helping her all along. Don't you feel so dumb? Teehee. I get a house plank. Go to Layton. Anyway, there's quite a few puzzles here for us to do, even though there's only 2 people. So let's just do 2 from Crouton, and there's 4 from Nick. Good day, fellows. Did you ever track down Ramon? Indeed we did. Thank you for your assistance in the matter. Good to hear. Well, since you're here already, why don't I take a load off and rest for a bit? What's this? Oh my, where did I put the measuring cup? Something the matter? I have 16 quarts of water that I want to divide into equal portions of 8 quarts apiece. The problem is my measuring cup seems to have grown feet. Can you think of a way I could use these 7 and 9 quart pitchers to divide things up? So yeah, this one takes a bit of time. You have one 16 quart pitcher full of water, one empty 9 quart pitcher, and one empty 7 quart pitcher. Using nothing but these 3 pitchers, can you divide the water evenly so that the 16 and 9 quart pitchers are each holding exactly 8 quarts of water each? 8 quarts of water. So here into here, 9 to 7, 7 to 16, 9 into 7, 16 into 9. 9 into 7. 7 into 16. 9 into 7. You just have to do a lot of repeating. Nine into 7. 16 into 9. 9 into 7. And then bam.
That should do it. Another puzzle solved.
Wonderful. If you shift the water back and forth long enough, you'll eventually end up with 8 gallons in each pitcher. The shortest possible solution requires 15 moves. Oh, genius, now that you've done it for me, it all makes sense. I wish I had someone like you in the kitchen. Oh, I meant this I meant to mention this earlier, but I heard a rumor that the kidnapper lives in that tower. You know, I've never heard anyone say anything good about that tower. Make sure you keep clear of it, okay? Flower bouquet goes to Layton. Getting closer and closer to finishing that up. And yeah, he's got another one, like I said. I'm glad to see you, Professor. I seem to have gotten myself into another jam. If you know you're busy and all, I just can't find the answer to this puzzle. Could you give me a hand with it? See, apples to oranges. Some careless delivery man loaded 2 shipments of fruit into the wrong warehouse. As you can see in the picture below, oranges are currently in the apple warehouse and vice versa. Can you correct the mistake and put all the fruits in the proper place? Yeah, shit. I kind of just messing up moves a lot. Shit cock, Jesus Christ. Fucking. And there you go. Didn't fucking like 80 moves, but whatever. It's finished.
There we go.
You can do it. The maximum could be 26, but I decided not to look at it and just do it myself. Good job, great job, fresh fruit for all. So that's how it's done. Thanks again, Professor. We found another painting scrap. And it's the last corner piece. Hey, you two, you guys like chess, right? How about it? Want to sit down for a game? Yeah, we got a lot of chess games that we gotta fucking do now. Kind of. In chess, the queen can move the full length of the board diagonally, vertically, and horizontally. See if you can place 4 queens on this 4x4 chessboard. There's a catch out. You must arrange the pieces so that no queen blocks another line of movement. So, one here, one here, one here, and one here. As you can tell, yep, none of them can reach each other diagonally or horizontally or vertically.
That should do it. Every puzzle has an answer.
I think of it as like, I don't know, actually I don't think. Nice to play. Queen, you trust queen problems like this have been around for over a century. This is a relatively simple variation of this type of puzzle. Consider an introduction to the genre. Very nice. You two are no amateurs, I see. Don't worry. Next time I'll have an even harder puzzle for you. So yeah, stuffed chairs going to Layton. And we're just gonna keep on doing this. Keep on trucking. Back for another match, eh? I just knew that you two were a bunch of chess fanatics. Nevertheless, this next one won't be easy, even for a pair of chess fiends like you. So yeah, see if you can face the 5 on the 5 times 5. So it's basically the same one as before, just with an extra piece. The same principle, just yeah. Just gotta memorize how the movement works.
Every puzzle has an answer.
Very nice. This one's a bit tougher than the 4 times 4 version, wasn't it? There's more than one answer for this puzzle. So if you really want to challenge, search for alternate solutions. So basically, you can just like swap 2 around, and the same effect can happen. Like the top and bottom ones, you can swap around their places. Like the top one can be on the 4th row, the bottom one could be on the 2nd row, and then for the 2 rows going left and right, do like that too. There's always gonna be one in the middle. Wowzers! Looks like I'm gonna have to think of a harder puzzle if I want to stump you. Can't wait for you two to see my next puzzle. Yeah, we'll just look at all the stuff after we're done. So, number 3. Yeah, so it's about time you two showed up. So how about, are you ready for a little chess? And yeah, so let's try something a little different. This time, see if you can arrange 3 queens on this 5x5 chessboard so that no more pieces can be placed on the board. Make sure you place the pieces so that no queen blocks another lines of movement. So this one is slightly different. Not quite the same principle, but as you can tell by this, none of these. If you can't put any other ones on any other columns with this setup, and everything's perfect. Yeah. You can also technically like flip around some things.
Another puzzle solved.
Job. Some people probably stumped across the answers to this puzzle while they were working through the 5 times 5 chess problem. Yeah, that's the answer, alright. But wait for the gem I have ready for you next time. It's gonna be so hard it'll knock your socks off. Alright, goes to Layton, because Layton's got those nice ass hats. Okay, dude, we had some good time together, but this is the last puzzle I've got for you. But don't be sad, because I'm about to drop a beast of a puzzle on you. I guarantee you won't be able to guess your way out of this one. So are you ready? In chess, the queen can move the full vertical. So if you have 3 queens positioned on an 8 times 8 chessboard. Place the remaining 5 queens on the board so that no piece blocks another lines of movement. This is a tough one. It kind of is, yeah. Just gotta remember, yeah. For this, it's perfect. For this part, it's perfect. There you go. Each row has their own.
Luke, here's my answer. Another puzzle solved.
You guys, since 3 queens have already been placed before you began, there's only one possible solution for this problem. What's that? You think it'd be more interesting if you had to place all 8 queens by yourself? Check and mate. You've done it now. I know you two were chess masters under it all. I was sure from our very first match. So yeah, that's all of them. Now, of course, we got a whole bunch of shit here. And yeah, 2 more paint scraps. Well, I can already kind of tell who that is. And you can kind of tell what this painting's going to end up looking like at the end. So right now we're gotta go towards the village square so we can find Zeppone. Yeah, well, another cat and mouse puzzle. That cat and mouse seem to get along pretty well, don't they? Do you think so, Luke? I wouldn't have guessed the cat was tormenting the poor mouse. But if you say the two of them are friendly, I believe you. Of course, if it has to do with the animals, leave it to me. By the way, Professor, have you heard of this one before? What's E? Called letters and numbers in the UK. Don't know why they had to make it different. According to the diagram shown here, A equals 2, B equals 3, C equals D, and C equals 3, and D equals 4. So what does E equal? This is like the easiest fucking thing in the world. Why it's worth 50 is like beyond me.
There we go. Critical thinking is the key to success.
The number assigned to each letter refers to the number of sections that are touching the label section. Now, normally, yeah. Now, oh yeah, I thought of it differently because I'm like, oh, okay, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, it's because B equals and C equals 3. Wait, fuck, I'm stupid. Well, yeah, it's because it matches. It hits 5 different. On the sides, it hits like 5 different shapes there. Gosh, I was really thought I'd sure I'd come up with a really good puzzle, but it was still too easy, I guess. Hang on. Anyway, sorry, I'm back. So here's where the hand coin is. Now we can talk to you. Hey, good afternoon, mister. Hey, I'll tell you a secret if you solve this puzzle for me. It's about a girl who's about to have her birthday. Now this one's another one that's different. Both of the puzzles that she has to give you now are different and have different versions. Last about her birthday, a young woman gives the following information. The day after tomorrow, I turned 22, but I was still 19 on New Year's Day after last year. When is her birthday? That's easy enough.
There we go.
There'd only be one answer possible.
Critical thinking is the key to success.
That's right, her birthday is January 2nd, and your conversation with her must have taken place on December 31st. As you can see on the chart above, the woman is 19 on New Year's Day last year, and she turned 20 the next day. This year, she turned 21, and in 2 days, after the New Year starts, she'll turn 22. Ah, you're smart. Okay, come close so I can tell you my secret. I heard that all the people who get kidnapped feel a little sick right before they get taken. I bet the monster that lives up in the tower feeds its victims super gross food before it pounces. Oh, but it's like hamburger ice cream with butterscotch and mayonnaise swirl. Yeah, this. Or maybe he just picks the weakest of the bunch to snatch. I just don't get why he needs all those people. Now we have this next one. This next one is fucking stupid. Hey, mister, it's good to see you again. See, I'm totally stuck here, and I could really use your help. My friend told me this puzzle the other day and just can't solve the thing. Can you help me? There's another one that's different in the UK and the US. The chocolate code. On Valentine's Day, your gadget-loving technophile girlfriend gave you the most unusual slab of chocolate. While the jumble of letters look like nonsense, if you manage to decode the letters written on the chocolate, a message from your sweetheart will appear. What is she trying to tell you? So you look at this and you wonder, okay, what the fuck is this? So they try to give you the hint of gadget file, a gadget-loving technophile. So it means she's typing on a keyboard. But apparently, even though she loves like gadgets and all that shit, she's a fucking horrible writer. So here's the answer. I'll let them explain how stupid it is.
There we go. Another puzzle solved.
Excellent. Your girlfriend's messages text me. The bites taken out of the chocolate show how each letter written on the chocolate relates to letters on a keyboard. You see how fucking dumb that is? Like, how is anyone supposed to guess it like that? How the fuck would you know it would be something like this? Oh, was that all you had to do to figure it out? Why didn't I think of that? Can you keep a secret? Don't tell Adria you told me the answer, okay? Thanks, mister. God damn, I hate that fucking puzzle. Isabon. Close friends of the Baron. It's true, I had the pleasure of meeting Baron Reinhold a few times. Mrs. Zabon. Oh, you didn't happen to be good friends with the Baron, did you? Me? Oh no, it's nothing of the sort. I was nothing of the sort. Can you think of anyone at all who was close to Baron Reinhold? No, I didn't really know him. But there was that one possibility. No, wait, never mind, I'm not sure. I guess the Baron can't really tell us much of anything. Yes, I'm afraid he was no help at all. I suppose that means we're back where we started. At least we can be sure that this close friend we're after is a resident of St. Mister. We mustn't give up, Luke. Let's continue to ask around. Fucking Zapon. So another little hint coin there, and... Professor, there's nothing on the ground here. You're right, it appears to be a scrap of paper. Will you check if anything's written on it? Sure thing. Let's see here. The boss complimented my latest model. He's a good guy and he's given me a new sense of purpose, and I'm sure this is my true calling. I want to perfect my skills so I can repay the man for his generosity. Sounds like a great deal. This sounds a great deal like a journal entry, doesn't it? Judging by how the writer uses the term the boss, I imagine he was under the employ of the Baron. Constructed models to fit every situation, just like the boss asked me to. I got a smile when I see how interested he is in them. That's the end of the entry. Do you suppose this person made some sort of models for a living? It's strange. Not being a member of high society myself, I never so much as had a conversation with Baron Reinhold. Now, Sonny, as much as I like to keep chatting, I'm awfully tired. I think I need to go lie down. Are you feeling unwell, sir? I'm just plumb exhausted lately. It's that awful noise coming from the tower, you see. It's gone so that I can't sleep or wink at night. Do you know what's causing the noise? It's just a rumor, but I heard that every time that sound rips through St. Mister, someone disappears. They say the ones who go are people who have been talking about feeling tired. But those who disappear are back before you know it, so it's probably just a load of poppycock. Whenever the noise sounds, someone disappears. Interesting. Do you think the peculiar sound has anything to do with that strange old man who abducted Ramon? It's certainly a possibility, isn't it? But why would he release his victims if they're going through the trouble of kidnapping them? Wait, that's another stupid one. You have to talk to him again, because now he has a puzzle. You are certainly crazy about puzzles, aren't you? Well, I've got a whopper of a puzzle for you. Find the pentagons. A number of 5-sided shapes are hidden within the picture below. How many can you find? Answer when you think you found every hidden shape. So this one requires a lot of counting here. Remember, 5 sides. It's going to take you a while, but I'll just tell you right now, it's 12.
That should do it. Another puzzle solved.
Nice work. 3 different types of pentagons are hidden in this picture. Since each shape can face 4 different directions, you have a total of 12 unique pentagons. What cutting lads you two are. I hope you'll stop by and solve puzzles with me again sometime. So before we do that, we're going back to prosciuttos. And we get the best puzzle ever. Professor, did you find what you're after? Never mind that though, I've got something more important to talk about, namely chocolate. Help me solve this puzzle. I'll tell you something I bet you'll find it very interesting. Nice. You have a hankering for chocolate, so you buy a huge sheet of 30 chocolate squares. A sheet is 5 squares long by 6 squares wide. You can only break the chocolate at the line that run between squares, but you aren't allowed to stack multiple segments on top of each other. Keep those rules in mind. What is the fewest numbers of time you'll need to break the chocolate in order to separate each of the 30 chocolate squares? So you can draw to figure it out yourself, but it's pretty easy to figure out. 29.
Luke, here's my answer. Critical thinking is the key to success.
That's right. If you follow the rules set out in the puzzle, then it really doesn't matter how you break up the chocolate. The number of segments you have increases by 1 each time you break off a chunk of the sheet. So you start with 1 segment of chocolate, so 29 breaks later, you have 30 segments. No, it makes sense. Okay, now about that whole info I promised. If you want to experience the best dining in St. Mister, you got to check out Crouton's restaurant. Everything he makes is yummy. Don't even get me started on the stews, you have to try it yourself. So your world map you give to Luke. So yeah, and we're gonna go up. Son of a... And, well, we're gonna end it off here because I just realized, yeah, it's 40 minutes now. We did a good deal of stuff, so yeah. With our investigation continuing, we're slowly but surely going to be figuring out some things. So, next time on the Professor Layton the Curious Village Let's Play, we're going to be continuing asking around town so we can try to find who this friend of Reinhold's is. So see you guys then. Take care.